What is up, everyone? Let's drive to the gym. I think I've been saying this. So I've been trying to, honestly, this is me not even playing around. I've been trying, I'm not going to say I was trying. I was recording this video. I think I did a couple of takes throughout the week. It's Friday, February 21st, I think. 2025, because that's the bigger thing here is, where the hell have I been? What have I been up to? Those are probably the questions that I need to answer, because I feel like I've been gone forever. And by forever, I've pretty much been gone for 3 years now, I think, or even more than that. It's crazy how fast time flies. And maybe it was before 2019, 2020, during the bid. That's kind of where, actually, it might have been that. I don't know. I remember the first video I posted on here was probably scholarship stuff, going to college, going to university, and then I broke down how I got the cheapest Corvette, and that was true at that time. And then after that, I think I stopped updating, because then eventually I got the Corvette Z06, and then right now I'm in the GTR. So it's been progressing. It's been, I don't know. We've just been working. We've just been saying, you know, let's go and build and then come back whenever we want to share. And I think that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I have nothing to sell to you guys. I have nothing to really, I don't need anything. I'm blessed. Like, thank God. I've been able to build alongside him and alongside my family, and we're here. I mean, I have everything I freaking need. I came from nothing, and here we are. But there's not a pity story, right? I just want to get on here and really say that from the bottom of my heart, I hope everyone's doing good. And I'm thinking of just maybe making these car talks, or even just driving talks. There's this guy who motivated me a lot, and shout out to him. He is daily driven Porsche, or Porsche daily. I don't know. He drives a badass 911. That's actually one of my dream cars that I'll probably be getting here soon. But he goes around and kind of talks about his experience, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll be 28 this year, believe it or not. 28. And I've done a lot. I've failed a lot. And I've learned a ton. And it might not be right for you, but I think I can hopefully help cut out the middle noise. Like, there's where you want to be, where you were at. And you feel like there's so much more that you need to go and do to go get it. And a lot of this stuff usually is around materialism. I think that's kind of, it guides me in a sense. It's like, all right, well, I want the 911, I want the other house, I want the next rental. And I'm always forward thinking in that sense. But I know in the bottom of my heart, those things now will not make me more happy than I am today. It's like the biggest dopamine effect ever. And I think whether you're in college right now, because I talk to my sister a lot. This is crazy too. She's graduating from university. And so that means that's already been 4 years, because I remember exactly when we went to go drop her off, and she started, and the whole program, it was like this big culture shock for her. And it was the same thing through me. So if you don't know a little bit about me and my backstory, I went to college for engineering. I majored in engineering. I finished that thing in 4 years. And I say 4 years because it's a lot. Like, I traveled abroad, and I studied abroad in Italy, in Orvieto, and I didn't take any core engineering classes. So my last semester was like 27 credits altogether, all in. And I finished in 4 years because I'm like, you know, this, to me, university within itself was a waste of time. Because I knew, and I say a waste of time, don't get me wrong, I got a lot out of it. I got my degree, and it's helped me a ton. And there's a lot of things that my perspective has changed in regards to, like, what you go to school for, what you do, how you approach life. Just because I think I've matured a lot. And I used to say, nah, school's not even worth it. But there I was in school. And I think I'll rephrase that. School's worth it depending on the degree that you get and what you want to do with it. And a lot of people, they'll be like, oh no, start your own business, do your own damn thing. But now that I'm older, you realize a lot. So a lot of business owners are struggling. Small business owners are struggling. Maybe if you made it big out of the big leagues, out of the small leagues, you're doing great, which is freaking fantastic. But realistically, people are like, oh yeah, my business makes $1 million a year, a million plus in revenue. Okay, or all right, my business, it's a multiple six-figure business in revenue. Okay, they never say in revenue. They just say, oh yeah, I run a multi-six-figure business, or a multi I don't know, let's just say $1 million business. Oh yeah, it's a 7-figure business. What they don't tell you is the amount of time that it takes. One, the actual profit. So what are your profit margins? Usually you're running around 15 to 20%, and that's a lot, right? So your actual take home after you're paying out everyone in the business, it's way less than what people claim that it is, or at least what it looks like. And there's a lot of things, like now, yes, of course, like I do my own thing and I have my businesses, but it's different. It's way different than what I had a different perception of what it would be, going to school or doing the business route, and fortunately get to do both. But now I give you guys the insight on what the hell is actually happening in the world and how things are getting handled. And I, like everyone else probably does, like I fell for, oh, this guy looks like he has it, let me go follow him and see what he does. And I found out that all these, mostly, I'm not gonna say all, I generalize a lot, so sorry about that, everyone. But I found out that through all these people that I encountered, that a lot of these people were selling courses. And that's the big thing, that I never went around and do it. I didn't want to do it. It's like, to me, it doesn't make sense. Like, sure, it's get rich quick, and if you're doing something that people want to pay for, you're extracting value out of your skill set, so it's no problem. But what I found is that most people get rich by selling the course itself. Like, let's just say, like I bought and resold cars for the longest time ever, and you guys know that if you've been around and actually used to watch my videos. I could give you guys a lot of insight on that, because I still do it. I know I know people who sold courses, and all they would buy and resell cars, one or two, but they would make their full-time income on the course, or like a big part of it, a big chunk of it. And it's always going down these different rabbit holes. You find all these things, and it's like, all right, most people aren't saying it how it is they're not being real. And to me, even making this, it's like, I've always wanted to help, and I do it whenever I'm not online. And for me, the last couple of years, it's been more like, hey, get off social media. I deleted my Instagram, deactivated all that stuff, just because the focus is real, and what you give your energy to is what your focus will be. You can't. So let's just say, like, you're a person that you have 100% energy, like that. You sprint, give all you can do, and you die, essentially. That's 100% of your energy. You cannot give 50% here, 50% there, 50% there. You have to be like 80-20, 70-30. And if you have all these things going and that are taking your energy, then you have nothing to focus on. If you're in college, you shouldn't be focusing on as much as like, oh, I wonder what my job is going to be. When am I going to graduate, and what am I going to become, and what am I going to do? That's something good to think about, but it's not going to be there, because by definition, you're in college to really graduate, to get your degree. And then in the marketplace, you'll decide where you land and where you actually fall. And through internships, through different research projects, you'll find what you kind of want to do. And I'll be the first to tell you, whatever you end up doing isn't where you end, it's where you start. So it's always this continuous improvement, where in the direction that you want to go. So it's like, don't worry about it. Life is going to figure out itself. And I try to fast track a lot of life in the sense of thinking or reverse engineering a lot of thoughts from mentors and friends and older individuals who I read a bunch. So I've read a bunch of autobiographies and biographies, and from businessmen, from philosophers, and everyone's trying to find this key, this set of keys to go through life and for us to be able to fast track this life. And the more I read, the more I understand that no one really knows, and we're all just trying to figure it out. And this goes away from what I was talking about, the business part, but a lot of people come online and they start like they rent these fancy ass cars, they rent these fancy ass houses, and they try to sell you on the dream of like, oh, you're not good enough, you have to work on yourself, you have to work on yourself so you can be like me, and yada yada. But if you, let's use the gym for an example, right? As an example, if you really wanted to get big, fit, nice, it shows a lot to people, especially when you come in a room, there's a fit guy, he's tall, hey, my short kings, you're all good, but your character really defines you. It's not like, sure, these guys rent their things and they sell you all these courses, but it's you guys give them the place to do it, because you guys buy their courses and you guys incentivize them to keep doing it, because clearly they're winning, or else they wouldn't be doing it. But if you really want to become a great person and really achieve greatness per se, then you start with the basics. Start with the foundation. Your character defines you. You shake a hand, you do good with your hand. It's your word. Your word as a man, your handshake. You know, like if you say, yeah, I'm gonna do it, you do it. You don't, like with business, bro, with business guys, like this is the thing. A lot of people don't understand that a handshake goes a long way, and it's rare to find people who keep their word nowadays. So when you find people that they're a man of their word, they have character, they're responsible, they are adaptable, but they're also responsible for what they say and believe, then those are the people you go with, because they'll call you out on your bullshit, they'll call you out on what you need to be called out on. And maybe this is me just data dumping everything on you guys, and maybe it doesn't make sense. Hopefully it makes sense, because we could go so many routes. So if any of this is making sense, if you have any more questions on anything, drop it down in the comments and we'll address them. I'll try to. I like making these videos, and I'll show you guys more of, I guess, the cars and stuff, but more along those lines. How did I afford the cars? I have never taken a loan for any car, so they've always been cash transactions, no matter what car I've ever had, and I've had a lot. Well, it's all perception. It's all perspective, I should say. It's like, all right, maybe some guy does have like 30 cars. Maybe that's not a lot. But for your normal person, I've had a lot of cars. I'll say that. But yeah, we could keep going down this rabbit hole. I was going to say this rat. I lose my train of thought because I'm trying to mentally prepare for the gym. And then I'm driving. There's a 4-way stop. There's so many things. But if you're in college right now, I'll go back to that. If you're in college right now, focus on graduating, focus on doing your thing. I would say that maybe you're not far along yet in your career track to reevaluate what it is that you want to do, because then that's what's going to get you there. Like if you're going to go do history, like a history degree, and you're trying to make the big bucks right out of college, that's not going to happen. It's very rare. If you want to do an engineering route, you can use engineering almost anywhere. High paying jobs right out of college, boom, set. Because then you can pivot to whatever you want. And those are the things you have to start thinking about. Like you think ahead based on what you want to do, and then you focus on the present to accomplish all these things, all these all these thoughts that you have are because, yes, the future is always, you're always unsure of what's going to happen. It's always a thing where you don't know. We don't know. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. I really don't. Like I'll have this, I know kind of what I'm going to do, but in reality, what if maybe we don't wake up tomorrow? Maybe I get hit on the way home. Maybe I break a leg here at the gym right now. A lot of things can happen and will happen even if we don't account for them. So it's always like a possibility. But realistically, focus on the today. Tomorrow's going to take care of itself if you focus on the today. Don't spend too much time in the 5 to 10 years out. Focus on the next year. Focus on the next 3 years. If you go too far out, you're just going to overthink. And if you're better today than you were yesterday, that's the biggest accomplishment. And I say that's the biggest focus that you should strive for. Like, strive to be a better person than you were yesterday. Strive to be the best that you can be compared to who you were yesterday. And that's the way to get better day by day. Because if you live it right, life is actually really long. If you live it and making bad choices and hanging out with the wrong crowds and doing the wrong things, then life becomes short. Because there's endless possibilities. There's endless things that you can do. But if you make the wrong choices, a lot of that can and will define you for the rest of your life. You get a felony, you get a few, then it's really hard to land any jobs. It's really hard to get your driver's license again. It's hard to go and get any car you want. And if you deviate down that path, then it's like a whole different story. But if you focus on being a good human being, helping others, helping yourself become a better person, hitting the gym, reading, all these things that sound cliche, they're real. You get your business in order, if you get your finances in order, you get to help people, you get to help yourself, you grow, and you continue doing it. Then you can share it. You can share all these things. And yeah, I think that's the big message today. Like, whatever I leave you with, if you even stayed for the whole, I don't know, this is probably going to be like 20 minutes. I don't know if you guys want this long of a content, but if you focus on the mission, becoming a better person and being better than yesterday, tomorrow will take care of itself. And if a dumbass kid like me can do it, you can too. I can assure you that. But yeah, I'm gonna go hit the gym. We'll talk later, and I hope you guys like these videos. We'll try to keep them coming. If not, then if you guys don't like them, just let me know. But if you like them, let me know.